Good morning, students. I welcome all of you in this session of English language. In this session, we are going to begin with the second lesson from the textbook. So, before I begin with the second lesson from our textbook, so let me tell you something about the textbook design for Standard 11. Students, this textbook is the beautiful combination of language and literature. There are 4 sections included in this textbook. The first section, which is entitled as prose section. In this section, we have some lessons which we will study in detail. The second section, which is entitled as poetry, in this section we have some poems. The third section, which is entitled as writing skills, here we have some writing skills like expansion of idea, blog writing, email writing, film review, the art of comparing. So these writing skills are not only significant from the examination point of view, but also very useful in our day-to-day life. The last section is based on literature. In this section, we are going to study the history of drama and some of the plays like The Rising of the Moon. So students, in this session, we will begin with the second lesson. The title of the second lesson is On to the Summit We Reach the Top, written by Tenzing Norgay. From the title of the lesson, On to the Summit We Reach the Top, we come to know that the lesson is about mountaineering. The second part of the title, We Reach the Top, also tells us, and particularly the use of the personal pronoun, the plural personal pronoun we, tells us there is not a single person involved in this mountaineering or expedition. So from the introductory part of this lesson, we come to know that Tenzing Norgay is one of the 2 individuals known to reach the summit of Mount Everest, which he accomplished in 1953. From the introductory part of this lesson, we also come to know that Tenzing has achieved different kinds of awards and rewards for his expeditions. So this article describes different kinds of events occurred during this historical climb and what brought Tenzing to the climbing mountains. So before we begin with the actual lesson On to the Summit We Reach the Top, so let us begin with the section Icebreaker, which is very important to discuss before we study the lesson. So let us see the first activity in the section Icebreaker. You must be having textbook of English with you. Let us look at page number 15. I read the first activity from the section Icebreakers. Discuss with your partner and complete the web of different activities related to climbing. Below this activity, the web chart is given. Some of the activities are already given like rappelling and rock climbing. So students, you are supposed to fill up the rest of the boxes with the activities related to climbing. So the first activity we can write related to climbing is mountaineering. The second activity we can write related to climbing is ice climbing. The third activity we can write related to climbing is bouldering. The fourth activity we can write hill climbing, and the last one is trekking. So this is how we can complete this web chart with the help of the different activities related to climbing. Let us move to the second activity. I read the second activity. There are certain prerequisites for mountaineering. With reference to the following points, develop a short dialogue between you and your friend about mountaineering. Students, some points are given to frame the draft of dialogue between you and your friend. The points are time, distance, equipment, mental and physical fitness, clothes, training. So this activity is for you. You think over all these points related to the climbing, mountaineering, and develop the draft of dialogue between you and your friend. So let us move to the third activity. I read the third activity. Discuss with your partner the various hazards and risks that a mountaineer or trekker has to face in an expedition. Students, mountaineering or trekking is not as easy as it seems. The mountaineer or trekker may face different kinds of hazards. Here, the meaning of the word hazard is difficulties or problems. So, during the expedition or trekking, the mountaineer or trekker has to face lots of difficulties or problems. So, let us make a list of the hazards or risks the mountaineer or trekker has to face. Students, I read the hazards or difficulties the mountaineer has to face: stormy wind, falling rocks, bad equipment, lack of fitness, lack of teamwork. Apart from all these hazards, sometimes the mountaineer has to face the hazards like to keep safe from insects and wild animals, shortage of food and water, sometimes insufficient oxygen. So, these are some of the hazards or risks the mountaineer has to face during an expedition. This is how we have completed the section icebreaker. I have already told what is the lesson about in introduction. So let us see the lesson. Let us see the first paragraph at page number 16. I read the first paragraph. You concentrate on each sentence of this paragraph. When we left Camp 9 on Friday morning, I was determined to get to the top on this day. That morning I remember thinking I was to get to the top even if I die. I was not afraid to die that day. We set out early and all the way from Camp 9 to Peak we alternated. Students, if you look at the first sentence carefully, from the first sentence, it is clear that the speaker of this extract is Tenzing Norgay himself because of the presence of the personal pronoun we. Secondly, it is also clear that both Tenzing and Edmund Hillary left Camp 9. So the location from both Tenzing and Hillary left the camp is camp number 9 and the time is Friday morning. So both the mountaineers, Tenzing as well as Hillary, left camp on Friday morning. I was determined to get to the top on this day. So, Tenzing says, on that day, on Friday morning, when they left the Camp 9, they were determined to reach the summit of Mount Everest. So, the first sentence clarifies three things: the location from where both the mountaineers started their expedition. Similarly, the day they started their journey was Friday morning. And the second half part of the first sentence shows the determination, the confidence of the mountaineer Tenzing. That morning, I remember thinking, so whatever Tenzing thought on that day, Friday, so what did Tenzing think on that day? I was to get to the top even if I die. So, again, the second sentence that is enclosed in double inverted comma shows Tenzing's determination, Tenzing confidence. I was to get to the top even if I die. So, anyhow, in any circumstances, I should reach to the summit of Mount Everest. I was not afraid to die that day. So Tenzing says that he was totally free from fear. We set out early and all the way from Camp 9 to the peak we alternated. So in the morning, they started their journey early and all the way. So when they were marching ahead from Camp 9 towards the peak, towards the summit of the mountain, we alternated. Now, here the meaning of the word alternated is given at the left side of the page, changed places. So, it means that sometimes Tenzing used to be ahead and Edmund Hillary used to follow him, and that is why Tenzing has used the word alternated. Now let us move to the second paragraph. I would take the lead and then Hillary. See, sometimes Tenzing used to lead the expedition and Edmund Hillary used to follow him. On the other hand, sometimes Hillary used to lead the expedition and Tenzing used to follow him. The man who follows when climbing has a difficult job, both in climbing up and climbing down. In both the activities, climbing up and climbing down, the person, the mountaineer who follows has a very difficult job rather than the person who leads the expedition. He is the anchor. The person who follows, the first one, is the anchor. He plays the significant role in an expedition. The man going in the lead cuts the steps and breaks the way. But the person who is ahead in an expedition cuts the steps and breaks the way. Now let us move to the third paragraph. In my pocket, I had 4 flags. When we were still at Camp 4, Colonel Hunt gave me 3 flags, those of Britain, the United Nations, and Nepal. He charged me with the duty of planting them on the top of the world. So let me explain paragraph number 3 at page number 16. So how many flags did Tenzing have
with him in his pocket 4 flags. When Tenzing and Hillary were at camp number 4, the person who gave these flags to them was Colonel Hunt. So Colonel Hunt handed the flags over to these 2 mountaineers, and the flags were of the nations like Britain, the United Nations, and the Nepal. And Colonel Hunt assigned the duty of planting these 3 flags on the top of the mountain. And let us see the last phrase used in this paragraph, on the top of the world. So, the summit, the peak of the Mount Everest is considered to be the place which is the top of the world. So, from this paragraph, it is clear that Tenzing was carrying 4 flags, and the person who gave these flag was Colonel Hunt, and Colonel Hunt assigned the duty of planting these flags on the top of the world, means on the summit of the Mount Everest. Now let us move to the next paragraph. These 3 flags are in your care, he said. When you and Hillary reach the top, put them at the peak. I am sure that you and Hillary are going to do it. So see, so this is the conversation, this is the communication between Colonel Hunt and Tenzing. As the sentences are enclosed within double inverted comma, so the pronoun, the third person pronoun he, refers to Colonel Hunt. So what did Colonel Hunt say to Tenzing? These 3 flags are in your care. So Colonel Hunt said to Tenzing that these are 3 flags. You should keep these 3 flags in your possession. And Colonel Hunt was confident both the mountaineers, Tenzing and Hillary, will definitely reach the summit of the mountain, and when they will reach the peak, so they are supposed to plant, they are supposed to put these flags on the top of the summit. Let us move to the next paragraph. I read the paragraph at page number 17. I told Colonel Hunt that I was carrying the Indian flag with me, and I would like to be on the top with the other flags. I had to ask Colonel Hunt's permission in his capacity as leader of the expedition. So students, in the previous paragraph, we saw that we discussed that there were 4 flags with Tenzing, and the 4th flag was of India. So in this paragraph, it is clear that though Tenzing was carrying the Indian flag, but he wanted to plant the Indian flag also on the top of the mountain. But before that, he wanted to ask the permission from Colonel Hunt. And why did he want to ask permission from Colonel Hunt? The reason is that the Colonel Hunt was the leader of the expedition. So the meaning of the expedition is the group of people who are on journey for the definite purpose. So in this way, Colonel Hunt was the person who had given 3 flags to Tenzing, but Tenzing had also one more flag, and that would be of India. So he asked the permission from Colonel Hunt, as Colonel Hunt was the leader of expedition. So let us move to the next section. Indian flag. Colonel Hunt said, "By all means, I am glad to know that you brought an Indian flag." So, as soon as Tenzing asked the permission for planting the Indian flag on the summit of Mount Everest, Colonel Hunt felt happy. He was glad, he was happy, and he told Tenzing that I am glad to know that you brought an Indian flag. So, students, this is how we have discussed some of the extracts from page number 16 and 17. So, I hope you understood these paragraphs from page number 16 and 17. So, I conclude my lecture here. The rest of the paragraphs will be discussed in the next session. I stop here. Thank you.